What is going on, everybody? So I am back today to talk about another new release film. The movie I'm going to be discussing today stars Patton Oswalt, and the movie is called I Love My Dad. I Love My Dad is directed by James Morosini. A hopelessly estranged father catfishes his son in an attempt to reconnect. So this film stars James Morosini as Franklin, who is this young man who lives with his mom, who has a really broken relationship with his dad, Chuck, played by Patton Oswalt. And early in the film, we are told that he has tried to commit suicide. He's doing these group therapy sessions where he's trying to build himself up, try to make himself feel better after going through all these horrible circumstances. And the movie kind of just takes us on this journey where we're told that therapy classes have told Franklin that he should separate himself from his dad. So he blocks him on all social media sites. So Patton Oswalt is at work one day and he's talking to Lil Rel Howery. He tells him that when his ex broke up with him, he created a new social media site so that he could stalk what she was doing. So Patton Oswalt goes to this diner and he sees this young waitress played by Claudia Sulewski, who he ends up finding her Facebook, stealing all her pictures, creating a new Facebook page, and literally catfishing his son so that he can try to build a relationship with his son. This movie is incredibly emotional, it's disturbing, it's sad, and it's also heartwarming at moments. But I think one of the things about this movie, and I've talked about this on my YouTube channel before, I have a really broken relationship with my father. He was an incredibly gaslighting and manipulative person who really took advantage of not only my mother but my siblings, and probably some ways that if I started to get into on this video, that catfishing one of his children would probably not surprise anyone. And so I think that's one of the things about this movie that really hit me hard, is because a lot of this material resonates so deeply personally with me, because I was someone who was incredibly emotionally manipulated from a very young age. And watching Franklin's character go through this circumstance where he's in this very emotionally vulnerable position where he's being manipulated by the person who should care about him the most, it's really difficult. And what I found really interesting is the way that they paint Patton Oswalt's character, which is that he is this really scummy and disgusting person, but he, at the same time, he wants to be in his child's life. He's just doing it in every wrong way imaginable. And that's what's so fascinating about this movie, is how that's portrayed in each one of these scenes. And I was really respectful of the filmmakers for how they conveyed it. I also really love the way they introduce Claudia's character in this, and that how her character is like, obviously it's just this created website other than her real version of herself that is this waitress. But when Franklin is talking to her, she shows up next to him, and it's more like they're having a real conversation. And I thought that that was a really unique and cool way to portray that character dynamic. And obviously it's one of those films that the anxiety level is through the roof, because every poor decision that Patton Oswalt's character makes, it just gets worse and worse. There's a scene where he's dating Rachel Dratch, who is absolutely hilarious in everything she shows up in. And there's a scene where Franklin wants to phone sex with this girl, and so he can't handle it, and so he starts phone sexing Rachel Dratch and just copying and pasting her responses to his son. And it's just like, you're sick inside watching it happen, and you're like, what lengths will this guy go to be a part of his child's life? And how a person who has that damaged and awful of a psyche would go to any length imaginable, because they think that even in this horrible situation, that maybe when the reveal happens that their child will be okay with it. And that was what was so difficult about this movie, is like watching that broken of a relationship dynamic and just the lengths that Patton Oswalt's character would go to do that. This movie does have a lot of really funny moments, but some of them that just kind of leave you as the viewer disturbed at the same time, because you just see how his character is willing to literally do anything to see his son again. And it just kind of leaves you uneasy throughout the entire runtime of the movie. And I really appreciated that. And I thought this was one of the more unique films that I've watched of the year. And I think that if you haven't heard of this movie, just go watch it. It was so well made. And I think despite the fact you might not love it, you'll at least get something out of it. So if you've seen I Love My Dad, did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was incredible. I was really surprised surprised at just how emotionally impactful and resonant this film was, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from this director. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.